Good morning. I'll give you a commercial first. The stuff we're talking about has a huge amount of audience, lots of people interested in the topic, except they're all walking around Barnes and Noble, and I see them whenever I go down and look at the different books, and they're interested in all this wonkish stuff. But, be a little frank on YouTube or any of the media. We're not too many of us. So I'm trying to reach out to that particular group, people who just like this kind of stuff, people who talk what I call wonkish. And the way you learn wonkish is like with the programs where you talk and you talk normal language and you don't explain one thing into another. So most prominently Rosetta Stone. And so this is what I'm going to be doing. I'll just talk, throw in different things, sometimes explain them, just kind of use them in context. And it'd be the same as if you're around a bunch of auto mechanics and are discussing what's happening with the cars. After a while, everybody gets used to the terminology. And the only way to do it is for any moderately educated person or person who gets into things and does things about them, is to just talk about it, use the vocabulary, take the orientation, which allows you to know what other people are talking about. So that's what I'll be doing from now. So this is elementary wonkish, and I'll kind of try to, this time, hit a general topic that seems pretty important. When I started the class, I was really pretty didactic. Later on, we got problem-oriented, and I discovered that there are certain ways to approach these problems. First thing you do is you back off a good distance and just look at a wide area and see if there are any mountains, anything that attract your attention. And then you kind of zoom in, see something going on, make some type of assumption about what's happening, decide what to do about it, what are the studies. Then you back off, think about it, and then you come back and you check out things and you go back and forward, back and forward. So we know our country really has problems. It has all kinds of illnesses. It has things that mimic what happens in the human being. One, autoimmune disease, one is shock, which is a just type of all-over collapse, and there's multi-system disease. And so I'd like to look at something I would classify as an autoimmune disease. The body develops substances that kill itself. And we have certain ones. Lupus erythematosus is one, and they can kill you. So and they're subtle, but you see their effect. So let's say I'm going over in my spaceship and I see this mountain and I go down and I look at it and it says, this is the statistic that the United States has more people in jail than any other country in the world. Okay, any other country. These include the stands, the dictatorships, the primitive areas, the areas where there's warfare, every kind of mixed country, big and small, and we have the highest incarceration in the whole world per person. And so let's kind of zoom down and look around what we see, and as we go along, make some suggestions. One of them you'll see is the essential decay of the Bill of Rights, our famous Bill of Rights, what we think of ourselves when we think of ourselves as Americans. When we sing the Star Spangled Banner, the home of the free and the land of the free and the home of the brave. Well, I'll go for the home of the brave. Yeah. We have great servicemen. We have great special forces. But home of the free, where we have the highest incarceration rate in the whole world. Well, let's think of a few things. One is basically that we pick up people on the street and we simply don't let them out. We have bails that they can't afford, and they stay there. And they stay, and while they're staying there, all their affairs come apart. They lose their jobs, they have trouble with their relatives, and they become wounded. And if they finally get to disposition, and this is going to be a long time, takes a while to process. Our Constitution says we're supposed to have speedy trials. We don't have speedy trials. They last a long time. And so what can we do about that? Let's be problem-oriented. Well, it's not as sound as it looks. The concept was simply eliminate the whole idea of bail, and you have special judges evaluate whether they're a flight risk. It's not that easy to do. So if you're going to do it, you have to make plans ahead of time with administration, with planning things. If you come up with a new thing and you don't talk to everybody who deals with it, you're going to get some real surprises. So, you should be talking to bail bondsmen. You should be talking to people who handle paroles. You should be talking to the people who get into this trouble about what sort of things can happen that make it hard for them to get to their appointment. And so they're bail busters. So at this stage where we're trying to work out the problems and think of how to handle them, this it looks like an easy thing to do, that we should simply not force them to come up with these bails, and that is according to our Constitution. No, you're not supposed to have excessive bonds. So that's one. It's an important thing to do. It's very important to have the money for it, and it's very important to talk with people about it, including bail bondsmen. See you next time.